Hi, my name's Travis. I'm the owner of Facade Games and the inventor of Bristol 1350. And tonight I wanted to do a solo mode, kind of run through with you and show you how that goes. So here we go. Okay, so we are ready to go. I've removed all the 4 symptom cards out of the deck and shuffled the 1s, 2s, and 3s here. Now I'm going to deal 2 to each player, including myself. And I'll go ahead and show you my symptoms since it's solo mode. So I have a 2 and a 2, so something I'll probably have to watch so I don't get too close to 6, because then I would get the plague and lose. So we'll go ahead and shuffle now the 4s in with the 1s, 2s, and 3s here. And this is the same setup, this part anyways, for the normal game. You take the 4s out, deal out cards, then shuffle them back in. Do one more shuffle. Okay, so we're all set there. These go here in the new symptom area. And in most games, you don't start with remedy cards, but in 1 through 3 player games, you do. So I'm going to start with 1 remedy card here. I've taken the pawns and put them in here. We're playing with the purple countess, the yellow friar, and the blue sheriff, and then I am green, the mason. Okay, so in front of the birch cart is the countess. Then we have myself in the cedar cart, the friar, and then finally the sheriff. And you're gonna fill up the carts in back before you fill up the ones up front. So here we are, and we are ready to go. So the player at the front of the first cart always starts the round. So in this case it is purple. So the countess will roll all 6 dice. And then on a ghost turn, they're gonna re-roll a die of the cart that is farthest ahead that is not their own. So the countess is in the birch cart. The furthest cart ahead that's not their own is the cedar cart. So she's gonna re-roll one of these. It just so happens that they're all apples right now, but if she could choose between an apple and a rat of the same cart, she would re-roll an apple. So she's going to go ahead and re-roll this one, and it is a white rat. It is now my turn. There are lots of cedar apples, so my cart's going to move pretty far, so I'm fine with that. So I'm going to stay there, and I'm going to go ahead and just draw another remedy card. Okay, it's now blue player. They're going to re-roll a birch because it is in front. Even though they all start tied, technically the birch is slightly ahead to start the round, and then cedar and then oak. So he'll re-roll this one. And then the other thing to remember about ghosts, if they re-roll an apple on their one re-roll, they will move forward in some way if they can. So he did re-roll an apple, so he's going to elbow ahead of the yellow. And then it is the yellow player's turn, and again there's a birch available, so he's going to re-roll that one. And it is an apple, and so he's going to just take his spot right back. Okay, so now movement happens. 4 for cedar, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 2 for oak, and no mingles. Okay, now I am starting the round because I am at the front of the first cart. So I'll re-roll those. Okay, so I have 2 red apples. They're probably going to get re-rolled. I'm okay with my lead. I think I'll just keep that. I'm already at the front, so I think I'm just going to draw another remedy, actually. Yeah, we're good with that. Okay, then blue, he's going to re-roll a red, since red is in front, or a cedar, I should say. And he did re-roll an apple, so he will nudge ahead of the yellow. Yellow will also re-roll a cedar. And he also rolled an apple, so he'd nudge right back. And then the countess there's no cedar to roll, so she'll re-roll a brown oak. And she rolled a rat, so she will not move forward. Okay, so mingles happen before movement, so the countess is going to have to mingle, even though she's alone, because of these 2 rats. So she's going to take her 2 symptoms. We add 1. And we shuffle them together. Okay, so she's 2. So I'm going to have to keep in mind that she is mingled once. And the thing about mingles is this deck, since all the 4s were shuffled in, it does have a lot of 4s, so there's decent odds that she picked up a 4 and perhaps has the plague now. Okay, so we've done the Mingles, now we're going to move. So Cedar moves forward 1, Brown moves 1, and Birch moves 1, 2, 3, 4 into second place. Okay. Okay, so now I'm still in the lead, so I'm going to start the round again. Again, I'm not too worried about rerolls, but maybe I will go ahead. Okay, we'll go ahead and reroll, and I don't want to mingle, so I might risk it though and keep that rat. Okay, I'm just gonna reroll these 2 right here. Uh-oh, so now I do have a rat, so I might be mingling. Okay, because that is the case, I'm going to use one of my remedy cards. And you can use remedy cards after your main action, in addition to your main action. So I'm going to use this Pomander card and hope it works out. Well, actually, no. I'm going to use a Leeches card. Okay, so for Leeches, you draw 2 symptoms. So I got a 4 and a 3. Ooh. And you get to add either one to any card's mingle area. So those are both pretty high. And so I'm not going to add it to my own. I was hoping to get a 1, add it to my own area so that if I mingled, I'd still be safe. But because this happened, I think I'm going to just put a 4 in the Countess in the Birch card here. I'll just leave it face up. Yeah, so in case she does mingle later, she'll probably have the plague. So that'll be good information for me to know. I'm still a little worried about getting a 4. I hate to use up all my remedies right now, but I'm going to use a Pomander as well. So for this one, I get to draw 2, and then keep any 2 of my 4. So I did get a 1, so that helps. So I'm going to keep that 1 and get rid of this 2 and 4. Okay, so that was my turn. Now it is Blue's turn. He's going to reroll a Cedar Apple. He does not move forward because he rolled Rat. And then Yellow is going to reroll a Cedar Rat, luckily. So I might not have to mingle, actually. Okay, this is going to work out. And he did roll an Apple, so he does move forward. And then finally the Countess, she's going to reroll a Cedar Rat. So all my movement went away, sadly. She rolled a Rat, so she does not move forward. Okay, so now that round is over. And it is mingle time, and the Birch is mingling again. So this is interesting. So this 4 is going to get added in because I used Leeches to add it in instead of the random card. So this 4 goes in with the Countess and the Friar. They all get mixed together. So the Countess is now mingled twice, and I know there's a 4 in there. So I'm pretty worried about them having the plague. So I'm probably going to try to avoid them if I can. Okay, so they get cards back. 1 gets discarded, and then the movement happens. So Birch does move 1, 2, 3, 4, and then Oak moves 1, 2. And if carts end on the same space, whichever cart was ahead in the previous round stays ahead for movement purposes, for dashing and elbowing. So the Cedar cart is still ahead of the Oak. Okay, so now Purple is in the lead, so they're going to start the round here. Okay, so the Countess is going to re-roll the furthest card that's not her own, which is the Cedar, and she'll re-roll an Apple if she can do it over a Rat. So she'll re-roll this Apple. Okay, a Rat, so she does not move forward. Okay, my turn. Oh man, so there's really not a lot of movement for me going on. I'm kind of worried that the Birch card is just going to run away with this. Man, and I don't want to be on their card because they're pretty bad, I think. So I'm going to re-roll these 2 apples. Okay, that worked out pretty well, though I might be mingling, but I think I'm going to be okay. Okay, then Blue is going to re-roll a Birch, since they're in the lead. Re-rolled a Rat, so it does not move forward. And then the Friar will re-roll a Cedar Apple. Okay, so lots of mingling here. Okay, so first, the Birch will mingle again because they have 2 rats. So I'm thinking they're super bad at this point. I mean, one of them's probably got to have the plague. I should mention, in case I don't use it, in 1 to 3 player games, you can use your action to view 1 symptom card of a ghost. So you can just look at one of their symptom cards. So that's really helpful towards the end to know if a card is plagued or healthy. Okay, and then I'm also mingling since there are 3 cedar. So I'm adding one here and mixing these together. So I'm hoping I get the 1 back because that'll guarantee that I stay healthy, but we will see. Okay. Uh-oh, I got a 4. This is not good. Oh, whew. Okay, so I got a 1. So if I'd gotten a 2 there, I would have lost the game right there. So luckily I had this 1, and remember I got that 1 because I used Pomander and switched out a symptom card. If I had kept both of my 2s and had this 4 delta in, I would have contracted the plague there. So I'm barely hanging on, and I'm probably going to want to get rid of that if I can, or at least avoid Mingles. Okay, so those are the Mingles, and now we get to do the movement. So Birch moves 2, Cedar moves 1, 2, 3, and Oak moves 1. Okay. Purple begins again since she's at the front of the leading cart. And she will re-roll a apple of cedar. Okay, oh man, another rat. That's not good. Okay, so now I gotta decide. I don't think I want to risk a mingle, and I don't have any cards that can... I already used a leeches and a pomander. So at this point, I'm kind of wondering if I should jump to the birch card and try to work my way up there. Oh man, I don't know. I really don't know what to do. I guess I'll just re-roll a rat to avoid the mingle. I think that's my best shot. Okay, all right, that works out. Okay, then blue is going to re-roll. There's no birch to re-roll, so he will re-roll a cedar apple. And it was an apple, so he will dash ahead to my cart, which is probably okay, because I don't think he's mingled yet, and it's very rare to start with the plague. It's only about 1 in 10 shot of starting with the plague, so I think I'll trust him. And then the yellow is going to re-roll a cedar rat. Oh wow, so straight oak. This is interesting. Okay, so no one's on the oak, so no mingles happen there, but oak is going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That is a big dash. So now the lead card has no one in it, which is really interesting. Okay, the Countess will start again since she's the furthest player ahead. Reroll those. And she will reroll a brown, because that is the farthest card ahead, an apple. Okay, and she did roll an apple, so she's going to dash ahead to the brown card now. Oh man, this is tough. Okay, and then at this point, I think these guys the cedar's going to mingle now, so I think I'm going to ditch this card. Even though I don't like yellow, I don't trust what they have, but I'm gonna go ahead and dash ahead to avoid that mingle. And then blue is going to reroll an oak. It's a rat, so he stays back there. And then yellow will reroll an oak. And there's a rat. So yeah, definitely good choice to leave that cedar, although they will move a lot. Okay, so there is a mingle. It's just this sheriff is going to mingle by himself. So now he's mingled once. The friar and countess, I think, have both mingled a couple times with a 4 that I added. Okay. And birch moves 1, 2, and since oak started ahead, oak remains in the lead, but on the same square. And then cedar moves 1, 2, 3, 4, and so they're all neck and neck. This is a crazy race. Okay, but it will still be technically in 3rd place. Okay, the countess will begin the round again. Okay, and she will re-roll a birch, because birch is the furthest ahead that is not her own. She'll roll an apple. Okay, and she did roll an apple, but because she's already in the lead and she can't go forward anymore, she'll stay there. Okay, so my turn. Again, I want to avoid this mingle. Oh man. I mean, I could. Yeah, because blue's gonna reroll a brown if I reroll a brown. Maybe I do just reroll again and hope for the best. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna reroll these. Oh man, rolled the rat again. Just because I'm really worried about this 4, I'm gonna play my chicken card. So chicken, you get to reroll your 2 dice an extra 3 times. I believe I rolled these. So I'm gonna re-roll both of these. I like this, so I'm gonna keep that, and then I'm gonna re-roll this again. And I like that, so that worked out for me. Okay, so now blue, he's gonna re-roll. Looks like he has to re-roll a birch, unfortunately. Oh, that worked out. But he did get an apple, so now he is in the birch card as well. So this is a full card, which I do not like. Next up is the yellow, and again, there's no browns to reroll, so he'll reroll a cedar. And he rolled an apple, so he's going to move ahead. Okay, so now I'm back with the blue, which is maybe okay. He just mingled once, a little risky, but that's okay. All right, there are no mingles because the cedar card is empty. And so birch moves 1, 2, 3, and cedar moves 1, 2, 3. And here we go. Okay, so now I am in the lead, and so I will begin the round. Not much in terms of birch, but man, I could push blue back. I kind of don't mind that. I mean, he's gonna help re-roll for me. Ah, man, tough. I think I'm just gonna draw a remedy and hope that it helps me in the last bit. Okay, so I got a whip and leeches. That could be good. And as a reminder, you cannot use a remedy card you just drew that turn, so I can't use this until my next turn. Okay, so that was my turn. Blue is going to re-roll a, looks like a cedar. Okay, and he rolled an apple, so he's gonna, oh man, he's gonna nudge ahead of me. But I have a whip. I could prevent him from doing that, and I think I'm gonna use that. Okay, so I'm gonna use a whip to prevent him from elbowing past me, so he's gonna stay there. You can use a whip in the same round you drew it, since it's played out of turn. Okay, now it's yellow's turn. He's gonna re-roll a birch. Re-rolled a rat, so he does not move. And then the countess will re-roll a, looks like a cedar. Okay, and she rolled an apple, so she will dash ahead to the next card in front of her, which happens to be cedar, which I like. So I don't want to be around the countess because she's mingled a bunch. Okay, and actually she's gonna mingle again, looks like, so that's the end of the round. Since there are 2 cedar rats, she's mingling again. Oh man, she's probably super bad at this point, but who knows. Okay, so she gets 2 here, and then the brown is also gonna mingle, brown cart. So the friar is getting a card added in and shuffle around. So I'd still say the blue is the most trustworthy at this point. But we'll see. Okay, and then movement happens. So red is actually going to cross 1, 2, 3, and then brown is 1, 2, 3. So I'm really hoping that the countess has the plague, because if she's healthy, then she wins. Okay, she has a 4. This is great, and a 3. Okay, like I guessed, because she mingled so much, and I added that 4 in before, she does have the plague. So she loses, and the game continues. So this is good. Okay, I will begin the round, and as a note, once the first card crosses, the other cards only have 1 more round to finish. So if you're way far back, then you're not going to make it. So you always got to stay close enough that you can finish within a round. Okay, so I'm going to re-roll these. Oh, that is not good. Okay, so there are no birch here, and I need to cross. Oh man, I'm in a tough spot because I don't really trust the yellow, but I need to cross. That's just kind of a tough roll, and I don't have any remedies left to do some rerolls. I used them up. I could try to reroll 2 birch, and my sheriff will also try to help me. But that would be a risk, and I'd hate to die at the gates. Okay, well I think my best chance is to risk it. I'm gonna push myself. Again, you can push yourself or anyone sitting behind you on your cart, and when that happens, the push player goes as far back as they can, basically. So I'm gonna push myself. I'm gonna go to the back of the yellow, and actually I'm hoping the yellow might move ahead to the birch. This might work out. Okay, so the sheriff now, he's gonna reroll an oak. I should have thought that through. Ooh, this is scary. Okay, he's gonna reroll an oak. Hopefully we keep this. Oh, whew. Oh, but it is a rat. This is gonna be tight. Okay, and then yellow, they will reroll a one that is, since there's no birch and oak is their own, they'll reroll one that is not in place. So he'll reroll this one. And wow, this is really working out. He rolled an apple, so yellow is gonna dash ahead. So now I'm all alone in my cart. So that's the end of the round. But here's the tricky thing. So I will cross this round and they won't, but I'm gonna have to mingle here. So it's really gonna come down to which one of these I get back. Woo! Okay, this is tight, folks. All right. Okay, come on. Sometimes you just feel like you know which one you're gonna get. Okay. Oh boy, I got a 4. Okay, if I get my 1 back, I'll be okay. Oh, dang it. I am super plagued and I am super dead. But to show you how close it would have been if I had gotten this 1 instead, you know, I would have crossed 1, 2, 3, and I would have won. So that's how close that one was. I should have done more to, you know, get rid of this 4 and put myself in a better position. Or if I had a chicken left, I could have, you know, re-rolled one of these and so that I wouldn't mingle. But that's it. I do die of the plague, and these guys also don't finish in time because they only had 1 more round to finish, so they die of the plague too. So all of us lost in this case. But yeah, that's how that game plays out. Okay, that was Bristol 1350 solo mode. Thanks for joining me tonight, and hope to play again soon.